Hi, my name is Tyriece Simon, news writer for SEScoops.com, and I am here for my special video review of WWE 2K24. The standard edition will be available worldwide on March 8th on Xbox Series X, S, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and on Steam. Now, some of you may have seen the article I wrote reviewing WWE 2K24 on SEScoops' website. However, we also want to go a little bit more in depth with this video review. Now, to tell you a little bit about myself, I love wrestling games. I've played almost every WWE game going back to WWE No Mercy to the game we're reviewing today, WWE 2K24. When the first trailer of the game came out, I was excited about the direction which 2K would take the new installment of the series. After playing many hours of the game and playing different modes of WWE 2K24, I can share my review, which I will rate at the end of the video between 1 and 10. Now, let's get to the review. Now, at first glance, fans may think WWE 2K24 is simply their last game with better graphics. While the rest of the mechanics are consistent with WWE 2K23 and even WWE 2K22, WWE 2K24 is a step above. The developers add new surprises to the game, like being able to exchange strikes in a match that resembles what you would see on TV. Players can be put in a minigame situation during the match that requires them to push a button at the right meter to land a powerful blow. Your opponent has the ability to do the same, and it keeps going until someone fails and loses the striking exchange. This is one of the small things that the game adds that makes W2K24 unique. I also have to say, managers in the game feel more involved than they have in the past. I had moments where I had to deal with an opponent that has Bobby the Brain Heenan or Miss Elizabeth as managers, and I constantly have to worry about them either distracting the ref, distracting me, putting weapons into the ring, or even taking the turnbuckle pad off. These are small little details that makes this game stand out than past titles. And speaking of the new details, one of the big additions to the game is the new match types. As a fan of WWE games, I've wanted to see the casket and ambulance match be playable in a WWE 2K game. Fans have wanted it for a while, and the developers of WWE 2K showed they're listening. Both match types are fantastic additions to WWE 2K24 and are a refreshing experience, especially playing against others. I found myself feverishly trying to master the right buttons to either put my opponent in the casket or the back of an ambulance, to the point that my hands were cramping. Playing with others made it a fun experience as we tried to do our best to be victorious with our hands being put to the absolute test. It also has strategy to it as well, as the more you hurt your opponent, the likeliness they won't be able to prevent you from closing that casket or ambulance door. W2K24 also has special guest referee match, which I found to be very interesting and challenging to play online. Playing the role of referee, you could either choose to call it down the middle or play favorites to make it difficult for somebody. I love the new match types, and I hope W2K developers add more of the next game. Why not bring back Buried Alive match? Heck, even the Punjabi Princess match would be awesome. Moving on to game modes. All the game modes from W2K23 are back in the newest title. Unfortunately, my team and my universe are basically the same. However, they have improved my faction and my rise. Since it was introduced, many fans have wanted to play with characters from my faction in other parts of the game, and I can happily say W2K developers listen to the feedback. You can now unlock special card characters called a persona and use that wrestler in different parts of the game. This adds more importance to my faction and adds more replay value for W2K24. My Rise also makes a comeback with 2 new storylines for your custom-made male and female characters. It seems the W2K team had more fun exploring creative direction for My Rise, which takes players on a journey from humble beginnings to being a top WWE superstar. To be honest, I was very lukewarm when the W2K team started My Rise a few games ago, but with each game they continue to improve on it, and I've become a fan. I really appreciate exploring creative storylines and actually having wrestlers like The Miz and Shotzi lending voice act to make it a fun experience. I was really surprised about how well I liked My Rise and the improvement of my faction that it kind of bummed me out that Showcase Mode was a letdown. Let's talk about Showcase Mode, shall we? I was really excited when it was announced that W2K24 will be exploring some of the greatest matches in WrestleMania history. My favorite Showcase Mode W2K has done was for W2K14, where they highlighted the 30 years of WrestleMania. Playing old school matches like Andre the Giant vs. Big John Studd for WrestleMania 1, or even Macho Man Randy Savage versus Ted DiBiase for WrestleMania 4, made me go watch the actual matches and event itself. I probably wouldn't have even checked out WrestleMania 4 when I did without W2K14, and it has become one of my favorite WrestleManias to watch. And that is the charm of Showcase Mode. It's to have you relive or experience these matches and make you go watch how it actually went down. See, W2K14 and past titles, what made those unique was that they would use gameplay animation to highlight the big moments of a match and make you feel like you were involved in recreating it. Unfortunately, in recent games, WWE 2K has decided to go away with gameplay animation reminiscent of the historic matches. Instead, they choose to edit in real-life cutscenes from them. That's what we have here at WWE 2K24. And as a fan of WWE 2K14 and the 30 years of WrestleMania, this felt like an absolute chore rather than an enjoyable experience. The showcase mode feels empty and lifeless as you go from task to win. Most of the things you do in the match don't even reflect what actually happened in real life. Now, there are times, especially in the later half of the showcase, when you do see more of the gameplay animation that are similar to WWE 2K14, but it's very few and far between. When the cutscenes do happen, they are jarring. For example, WWE 2K24 has the famous Hulk Hogan vs. Andre the Giant match from WrestleMania 3. Fans may remember there was a point in the match where Hogan and Andre are on the outside of the ring. Hogan takes up the mat to expose the floor. Instead of Hogan landing a pile driver, Andre reverses it and lands a back body drop on Hogan on the exposed floor. The reason why I say this is because the game does a cutscene showing this in real life, but cuts to Hogan laying on a mat. You see where the problem lies there? What makes it worse is the lack of match selection. It's disappointing to have 39 WrestleManias to choose from, but only having 21 matches. If you were hoping to play classic matches like Hollywood Hulk Hogan versus The Rock at WrestleMania 18, you'll be sadly mistaken. Another thing that made it feel empty was the lack of commentary for the showcase mode. Instead, you have generic music and crowd noise blaring while you play, which had me muting my TV. Whereas WWE 2K24 had legends like Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler lending their voices to do commentary for each match. Obviously, they didn't do commentary for all the WrestleMania events when it happened. Still, I was able to accept it and roll with it because it was an enjoyable experience. WWE 2K24 Showcase Mode was a big swing and another recent miss in the series, but hopefully, WWE 2K developers take notice and improve on the next title. Overall, I think WWE 2K24 is another step forward in the WWE 2K franchise. While I don't like Showcase Mode, it didn't diminish my joy and appreciation for the game. The 2K team deserves praise for how they have handled the series over the last 3 games. I love the new tweaks with the gameplay. I love what they've done with my faction. I love what they've done with my rise. I think many will enjoy it. Also, online mode does run smooth for me. I think W2K24 is the best of the series overall, and I give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. Please tell me what you think. If you have played W2K24 early, let me know what you think so far. Until next time, my name is Tyriece Simon. You are watching the SEScoops YouTube channel, and I will see you later.